What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we'll be creating a simple sketch illustration of a blue whale. Welcome everyone and thanks for joining me today. For today's lesson we'll need a sketch pad and a pencil. I'll begin today's sketch off with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick, but you're welcome to use whatever you'd like. Now the first thing we want to do is define the basic shape and composition of our drawing. So we're going to start with a straight angle line going across our page. So start on the left side, just going to roughly work our way across and up towards the right. Now this is going to be the center seam of our whale. Now let's mark off the tip right about here. Now this back is going to go all the way across and then down to right about here and then blend in towards the tail. So let's start back on the right side. I'm just going to curve this across, giving it a slight bend, and then come down towards this point. Now I'm going to extend this out and then down towards the end of the tail. Now we're going to connect these 2 points with a large curve for the belly. Let's start back on the left. I want to bring this down to right about here. We can always come back and modify the shape later if we need to. Now I'm just going to bend this back up towards that point on the right. Now again, we're just focusing on the basic shape first before we get into the details. Let's go back over towards the edge of the tail, angle this down, and I'm just going to flatten this off. Now that we have the basic shape of our whale, we're going to start locating the key features. So along this line, this is going to be the mouth coming in to right about here. I'm just going to draw a small circle for the eye, just for a locator. Let's continue over, and now right here, we're going to draw a slightly larger circle for the edge of the fin. Now we're going to modify the edge of the mouth. Let's start from this point. We're just going to curve this up and in, sort of aiming towards the top of the eye to right about here. Now we just want to bend this around, coming down underneath the eye. Bend this up in between the eye and the edge of the fin, going up towards that center line. Now I'm going to curve the seam going around the fin, come down. I'm just going to bend this out and just fade that off to the side. Now we're going to go back and add some shape to that fin. Let's start from the left side of that circle and bend this out. We're going to go past the edge of the body and then down toward the tip. Let's go over towards the right side, curve this down, and then out towards the point. Now we're going to see the back fin in behind the body. So we're going to start out here, curve this around and then down toward the point, and then we'll just angle this back up underneath the body. Now we're going to go back and clean this up by erasing that center guideline. Now once we're happy with the proportions, I'm going to use this rough sketch as a guide to help us layer on some more detail and refine the shapes. Now I want to start with this eye. I'm going to start from the left side. I'm just going to curve the eye going up and then down towards the right side of that circle. Go back to the left, curve the bottom of the eye coming down and then up. I'm just going to add a fold across the top and bottom of the eye. Now I'm going to move over and just add some shape to the mouth. Going across and then up. Just adding a little bit of a wave. Coming down underneath the eye, up, and we're just going to add a little bit more shape to that seam. Now over at the front, we want to take away that sharp point, so just going to round at the top, come in, I'm just going to add a few humps across the top, almost like a little wave going across, and just take away that smooth line. Just working our way across towards the back. Now I'm going to go back and do the same thing across the bottom. Just going to bump out the lower chin, coming around, pulling this in, and again, just adding a few bumps across the bottom, so it's not perfectly smooth. Just go in behind that fin. Just going to add a few bumps across the bottom. Going up, just working our way towards the edge of the tail. Let's curve the tail back up and then down. Add some shape to the tail, going out towards the end. Let's round out the tip. Again, just adding some more shape. Coming down the back side. Round this out and then pull it back up. Now we want to add some shape to that front fin. So we're going to step in just to add a fold. Again, just adding some bumps. We're just going to layer some barnacles and more detail on after. Let's round out the tip. Just work our way around the inside. And finally, we're going to add some more shape to that back fin. And there's a little indent across the top, so we're going to curve this up, add a couple bumps, and then bend that in and up. Now we're going to go back in again and just clean up our drawing, just erasing all those guidelines inside. Now once we finish cleaning up our drawing, I'm going to go in with my 0.9mm pencil and start adding some more contrast and details. So we're going to start back at the eyes. I'm just going to darken up the inside and then add those folds going around the eye. Let's work our way across the edge of the mouth. Now along the top, we're just going to add some micro bumps. Just these little tiny bumps, almost like barnacles, going across the edge of the head. Just keeping them at the front and then blend into a smoother back. I'm just going to split this seam around the arm and in between the eye. I'm just going to add some wrinkles, some folds. We're also just branching these out. Again, just going around the arm. And also in between. Let's continue to add these wrinkles across the body. So we're just pulling these across from the wing in. So we're just pulling this across from the fin towards the tail. Across the bottom. And then we'll continue across the front. And as we get up towards the mouth, we're just going to blend these out. Now I'm going to add some spots across the front of the head. Also going to add the spots across the front edge of the fin. And a few behind the back. Now going to switch to the side edge of my 2mm pencil and start adding some light shading. So we're just going to darken up the bottom of the tail, and then we're just going to fade it up towards a little bit of a highlight along the top edge. And darken up the bottom, just kind of pushing this in towards the silhouette. Now I want to darken up the bottom of the body, so the lights come from the top going across, so the highlights will sit along the top. So let's darken up the bottom of the belly, and then gradually fade that up. Add a little bit of soft shadow along the top just to help give it a little bit more shape and roundness. Also adding shadow across the front of the fin. And push this back fin into darker shadow. I'm just going to add a little bit of detail across the back, just adding a little bit of reflection of the water going across the body. And this is a very soft effect. I'm just creating a subtle effect across the bottom edge, almost like a little bit of a rim light. So there's a little bit of reflection coming up across the body. I'm going to go in with my 0.7mm and start adding some fine details on top. Now, as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to tighten up our shadows and details, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of a blue whale. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please be sure to subscribe for more videos each week, where I'll show you how to draw different animals just like this. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.